Far Cry 5. Some say it's good, some say it's bad, and some just outright don't want to play it or even touch it. And well, I personally at first decided to bite the bullet as to, well, I finished Far Cry 1, Far Cry 2, Far Cry 3, and 4, and I decided why not? Let's play the fifth one, and honestly, I'd say I'm having fun and the game is really, really good. So, just to start off, Far Cry 5 is not set in some tropical island or in Africa, but it's set right there in America. And basically, the whole game kicks off with you being a police officer, a deputy, and you have a warrant out for the father, who is the cult leader. And all the game basically is trying to show you is how this doomsday prepper cult, yes, is trying to take over the whole control of the area and brainwash and control people into being soldiers, brainless followers, and keep saying that the end is near. And, well, are using a psychoactive substance that they gain from a flower, and it's called Bliss, to help them better get their, well, way with the people. And as you try to arrest the father, of course the Doomsday Prepper cult thinks it's the X hour. That's it, the world is ending. So they establish control, blast all the tunnels, and basically lock everyone inside of Hope Country. As with every Far Cry game, there's many outposts and side missions, animals to hunt, plants to harvest, and so on. So there's various activities done around. And well, there's many different vehicles, some customized with weapons, some not. You can customize your own weapons as well, which is nice. You can choose paint coats for them, basically skins. And well, cars you can also customize with weaponry, which is pretty cool. And of course there's a perk system and so on, so it's basically another Far Cry game. And I personally think there's very good things about it that make the game worthwhile. So, speaking from personal experience, since I have spent already 35 hours in the game as a casual gamer basically, and well, I still have not finished the game. I'm exploring the world, doing side quests, finding little secrets, stashes from preppers, and they always come with nice goodies inside and all that. And I personally say the story is very well crafted. Everything seems to fit together nicely. There's no things that seem way out of place. Everything seems to be going in a coordinated pace. You're fighting a rebellion, so you free the people. Of course, there's no radio tower blocking off part of the game like there was in Far Cry 3, for example, where you unlock the map as you climb these towers. It's more of a fog of war type map where you explore, find points of interest, and so on. But I personally kinda like that a bit better. You already know where to go on the map, everything's kinda grayed out, but at least you can see the roads and navigate a little better. So another thing what I find to be very entertaining and fun about the game is, well, how the whole progression goes. You have a few areas that are controlled by these henchmen of the father, which is Faith, Seed, Joseph, and John Seed. And as you do missions and destroy cult properties, take over basically these outposts, rescue hostages and captives, you gain resistance points, and the more resistance points you get, the more the area is gonna be like hot, you could say that. There's gonna be this heat, there's gonna be upgraded versions of enemies coming, more armor, planes, helicopters, more armed cars and vehicles with more people in them, and so on. So it's gonna be a bit more difficult each time you progress through the area. But the good thing is you don't have to have special missions to reach these henchmen. You can focus in one area and complete it to full 100%. You get all the needed resistance points, so you max out the bar. And well, you have the face-off with the cult leader, and the story plays along very nicely after you defeat it. You see the father speaking about the defeated henchmen or their right hand. Depends which one you take out first as well. And the story already progresses, and the NPCs around even will notice the change in the area, that area has been, well, fully liberated. Of course, there's still gonna be side quests around, but I think the whole discovery part and area in sections is a very, very nice twist on things. And of course, you unlock more weapons, more upgrades, and so on, also by, well, gaining resistance points, and the more you have, the more you unlock. I think I have unlocked everything, because I take out outposts along the way whilst exploring the map and so on. But I personally think that it's nice that you have the freedom to do so. And how can I forget, the game has its trippy elements, especially if you, let's say, get influenced by bliss too much. There's an outpost that has these bliss barrels or boxes and you destroy them, or there's bliss plants all around and you by accident run through way too many of them. Well, what really happens is you get sent into the vision world of bliss, and well, depends in which controlled area you are, you, well, see different visions. With faith, you see more brainwashing, trying to get you to basically agree on their terms and join them and so on, and become their religious person. I don't even have words for it. For Joseph, you have more military kind of fighting and so on. Oh no, Joseph was the religious, the power of yes, my apologies. John's seed is the military, you constantly have to take out more people in waves, and it's time restricted and so on, and called the herd, basically. So it's also very nicely implemented, and I personally find the transitions to be smooth. You fight through, let's say, in an outpost, you liberate the outpost, but you run into a bliss plant. Well, for you it shows that you kind of pass out because you get way too high and you wake up in these visions. And then, well, you wake up in a completely different place because you've probably been tripping around the whole state whilst in that state. So I also think that's a very nice plus that they managed to implement something like that into the game and fit to the story. Even the NPCs act accordingly after you've been influenced and when you come out of it. So that's a very big plus on my side. I personally think there's also great replayability for the game, and, well, that's another big plus, because not many games you can play many times over before they get absolutely boring. It's not like Fallout, where you can constantly have different builds and different options and so on. Many of these kind of linear but open world games don't really have that option too much. And, well, in Far Cry you have also different endings, and there's couple secret ones, there's couple that are just amazing. Basically, you choose in the end whose side you pick, and I think there's been for almost every Far Cry game, which, well, is very, very cool, and also gives some bit of difference when you play through the game. Maybe you play through the game and decide, you know what, I'm gonna have this ending, or you don't know about it and you get one ending and you realize you could have had another one too if the game even shows you which side to pick, which is absolutely amazing. And the game's length really depends on you. If you just want to speed run through all the story missions, it could probably take you just about a day or half a day, but if you're a person like me that likes exploring all of the map, finding the little secrets, maybe like the Hollywood letters, but this time just saying yes on a mountain, it's it was funny when I found it, and well, those kinds of secrets are hidden all around the map. You can find even secret stashes that NPCs are not talking about somewhere in the hills, in sewers, under bridges, and so on. And that really ties the whole exploration together, and the game really also rewards you for doing so, which, well, for me is what makes these kinds of games really, really enjoyable. And, well, it's not difficult to process the story. Maybe sometimes the options you pick you regret, but you can always come back to an earlier save if that's really what you want. And, well, yeah. And just about, I all in all recommend the game to any Far Cry lover out there. Yes, it may not have the full character development as Far Cry 3 has, but the game is still very, very fun. It seems that the actors for the game played their part very well. The game is very often on sale, so you don't have to pay the full price. I personally also got it on sale. On sale, it's definitely worth it to grab, especially if you cannot afford to buy games on full price. There's many games that even on just now released are not even by quality standards worthy of the full price, but this one, I'd say if you can afford it, would be even worth the full price, because, well, you play it for hours, you essentially pay the money to have something to enjoy for countless hours, and if you explore and if you take your time and just try to have fun and do all the activities, even like fishing in the game, you will get your fun well worth the amount of money you invested basically in the game. So I'd rate this game a 9 out of 10 from every other game I have played. I have played way too many that I thought were pretty good until turns out they actually weren't, and I started encountering problems. But as the final word, I'd say Far Cry 5 for me personally is right there up with Far Cry 3, one of the best Far Cry games so far, and well, I recommend it to anyone who is interested in these kinds of open world, shooter, explorer, story driven games. And yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. If you have any other games you want me to have a look on, maybe play through and have some sort of a review to make, you can surely leave that down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.